Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin shows a generally upward trend, with recent volatility. The RSI indicates that the asset is currently not oversold or overbought, hovering around the 50 mark. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for price movement. Given the forecast prices consistently above the recent historical range, I recommend a long position strategy. Specifically, enter a long position at $117,800. Place a stop-loss order at $117,300, just below the support level, to mitigate potential losses if the price reverses. A reasonable target price would be $124,800, aligning with the forecast for October 6, 2025, and providing a healthy profit margin. To refine this strategy, I will incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 30, consider adding to the position at $117,800. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it could be an entry point at $117,800. Conversely, if the RSI reaches 70 or above, consider taking partial profits at $121,400. The portfolio will prioritize the forecast data and upward trend, with RSI and Bollinger Band serving as secondary confirmation signals for enhanced risk management and profit optimization. This combined approach should deliver high returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum has experienced a significant downtrend followed by a potential recovery. The RSI consistently dipped below 40, indicating oversold conditions, while the Bollinger Bands have widened, suggesting increased volatility. The forecast shows a gradual upward movement, with prices expected to reach $4,610. Considering the support level at $4,310 and the resistance at $4,590, a combined strategy leveraging RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels is recommended. The strategy will involve a long position when the RSI crosses above 40 and the price touches the support level of $4,310. Entry price will be $4,310. A stop-loss order will be placed slightly below the support level at $4,280 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be set at the resistance level of $4,590. If the price reaches $4,590, we will consider taking partial profits and moving the stop-loss to the entry price of $4,310 to secure gains and protect against a potential reversal. If the forecast continues to be positive, we will increase the target price to $4,610. This combined approach aims to capitalize on the anticipated upward trend while mitigating risks through strategic stop-loss placement and profit-taking. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP exhibits a slight upward trend. The price has consistently found support around $2.8, and the resistance is around $3.09. The RSI fluctuates between 38.4 and 57.2, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been oscillating within a relatively narrow range, with the center band consistently around $2.94 to $2.97. The forecast for the next week predicts a gradual increase, potentially reaching $3.11. Considering these factors, I propose a long position strategy focused on capitalizing on short-term pullbacks and the overall upward momentum. Specifically, I recommend entering a long position when the RSI dips below 40, around $2.82, with a stop-loss placed just below the support level at $2.72. The initial target price should be set at the resistance level of $3.09, offering a substantial profit margin. If the price breaks above $3.09, we will adjust the target price to $3.11, aligning with the forecast. This strategy combines RSI-based entry signals with support and resistance levels for risk management and profit maximization. The portfolio will allocate 60% of the capital to this strategy due to its strong potential for high returns, with the remaining 40% allocated to other diversified assets. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a clear upward trend. The price has consistently moved above the center of the Bollinger Bands, indicating bullish momentum. The RSI readings have fluctuated, but generally remained above 50, suggesting strengthening buying pressure. The forecast for the next week projects continued price increases, reaching $1,110. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $1,040, placing a stop-loss order at $980 to protect against potential downturns. The initial target price will be $1,070, aiming to capitalize on the short-term upward movement. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI drops below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we will consider entering a long position at the prevailing price, with a stop-loss at the recent low and a target price near the upper Bollinger Band. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds 70, signaling an overbought condition, we will consider exiting the current long position or initiating a short position. The portfolio will prioritize the long position strategy due to the strong upward trend and positive forecast. We will adjust the target price to $1,110 as the forecast suggests the price will reach this level. Therefore, the final strategy is to enter a long position at $1,040, with a stop-loss at $980 and a target price of $1,110. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana has shown volatility, with a recent upward trend. The RSI indicates periods of oversold and overbought conditions, suggesting potential for price reversals. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the upper band, indicating a potential for a pullback. Considering these factors, I recommend a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals. We will enter a long position when the RSI falls below 20, indicating an oversold condition, and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. The entry price will be $192. The stop-loss will be set just below the lower Bollinger Band at $188, and the initial target price will be the middle of the Bollinger Band, which is $224. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the support and resistance levels. If the price reaches the resistance level of $247, we will move the stop-loss to the break-even point. Furthermore, the forecast data suggests a continued upward trend with prices ranging from $220 to $230. Therefore, we will adjust the initial target price to $230. This combined strategy aims to capitalize on short-term price fluctuations while mitigating risk through strategic stop-loss placement and target price adjustments based on market conditions and technical indicators. This approach should yield high returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a fluctuating trend with recent consolidation around the 0.242 support level. The RSI values hover between 40 and 60, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a period of low volatility. Considering the forecast prices, there's a slight upward trend expected, with prices potentially reaching $0.266. I propose a moderately bullish strategy focusing on short-term price appreciation. Here's a three-pronged portfolio strategy combining RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. First, initiate a long position at $0.252 when the price touches the support level and RSI is below 50. Set a stop-loss at $0.240 just below the support to limit potential losses. Target a profit at $0.272, slightly below the resistance level. Second, if the price touches the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, which is $0.214, enter a long position and set a stop-loss at $0.208 and a target price at $0.240. Third, if the RSI reaches 80, exit all long positions. This diversified approach aims to capitalize on short-term price movements while mitigating risk through strategic stop-loss orders. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON exhibits a slight upward trend with price fluctuating around $0.34. The RSI consistently remains between 45 and 53, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the upper band, suggesting potential for a minor pullback. Considering this, I propose a cautious long strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.341, placing a stop-loss order at $0.337, just below the support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.344, aiming for a modest profit. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 40, indicating an oversold condition, we will enter a long position at $0.336, with a stop loss at $0.332 and a target price of $0.343. Conversely, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, signaling a potential buying opportunity, we will enter a long position at $0.33, with a stop loss at $0.327 and a target price of $0.341. This layered approach allows us to capitalize on both trend following and mean reversion opportunities, maximizing potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano has shown significant volatility, with a recent downtrend followed by a slight recovery. The RSI consistently fluctuates below 80, indicating that the asset is not currently overbought, but has been oversold in the past. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility. Considering these factors, I recommend a strategy that combines trend following and mean reversion. We will implement a long position when the RSI reaches an oversold level of 20, and a short position when it reaches an overbought level of 80. The forecast data indicates a potential upward movement in the coming week, with prices hovering around 0.84 to 0.87. Therefore, I suggest entering a long position at $0.841, placing a stop-loss order at $0.835 to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price is set at $0.87, aligning with the forecast high and a key resistance level. If the price reaches $0.87, we will move the stop-loss to break even to secure profits. We can consider a secondary target price of $0.89, but this will depend on the strength of the upward momentum. This strategy balances the potential for gains with risk management, capitalizing on the predicted upward trend while protecting against downside risks. The portfolio will prioritize the long position strategy due to the predicted upward trend and the current oversold RSI. Based on the historical data and forecast, Wrapped Beacon ETH shows a downtrend followed by a potential upward reversal. The RSI consistently dipped below 50, reaching a low of 30.9 on September 29, 2025, indicating an oversold condition. The forecast prices suggest a recovery, with values climbing from $46.90 to $49.50 over the next week. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $4,690. Place a stop-loss order at $4,600 to limit potential losses if the price continues to decline. Set a target price of $4,950, aligning with the forecast high and the previous resistance level. This strategy aims to capitalize on the anticipated rebound while mitigating risk through a conservative stop-loss. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price has been trading near the lower band for a while, reinforcing the oversold signal. When the price reaches $4,740 on October 6, 2025, and the RSI is above 50, consider taking partial profits. We can also use the upper Bollinger Band as a secondary target. If the price reaches $4,930 on October 8, 2025, which is near the upper band, it suggests a potential short-term overbought condition, and we can consider taking profits. This combined RSI and Bollinger Bands approach provides a more dynamic and adaptive strategy, allowing for adjustments based on real-time market conditions. Based on the historical data and forecast, Chainlink has shown a downtrend from September 19, 2025, to October 2, 2025, but the forecast for October 3, 2025, to October 9, 2025, indicates a potential upward reversal. The RSI has been consistently below 50, indicating a bearish momentum, but has recently approached the 50 level. The Bollinger Bands have been contracting, suggesting a period of consolidation, and the price has been bouncing between the bands. Given this mixed signal, I recommend a cautious long entry strategy. Specifically, enter a long position at $22.1, placing a stop-loss order at $21.7 to limit potential losses if the downtrend continues. The initial target price should be $23, aligning with the forecast and the upper Bollinger Band. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI crosses above 50, consider moving the stop-loss to break even at $22.1. If the price reaches $23, a further target price of $24.7, the resistance level, can be set. Conversely, if the price falls below $21.7, exit the position immediately. This combined approach, utilizing both trend analysis and technical indicators, aims to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. The portfolio will be 60% based on the forecast data and 40% based on the RSI and Bollinger Bands. Based on the historical data and forecast, Raydium shows a fluctuating trend with a recent upward momentum. The RSI consistently stayed below 80, indicating that the asset is not overbought, and dipped below 30 several times, signaling potential oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility, and the forecast prices indicate a continued upward trajectory, with a peak at $3. Therefore, I recommend a long position strategy leveraging these indicators. We will initiate a long position at $2.83. The stop loss will be set at $2.61, just below the established support level, to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be $2.98, aligning with the forecast high for October 9, 2025. If the price reaches $2.98, we will adjust the stop loss to the entry price of $2.83 to secure profits and protect against a potential reversal. This strategy combines technical indicators and forecast data to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Aptos demonstrates a strengthening upward trend. The price has been fluctuating but generally increasing, with recent days showing significant gains. The support price consistently remains at $4.9, while the resistance has been climbing. The RSI values have crossed above 50, indicating bullish momentum, and have recently reached overbought territory, above 80, on October 2, suggesting a potential pullback is possible. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, confirming volatility and indicating potential for further price movement. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy focused on capitalizing on the anticipated upward trend, with careful risk management. My recommended strategy is to initiate a long position on October 3, 2025, with an entry price of $4.7. Given the recent overbought RSI reading and the potential for a short-term correction, I will place a stop-loss order at $4.5 to protect against unexpected downside movement. The initial target price will be $5.22, aligning with the forecast price on October 9, 2025. If the price surpasses $5.22, I will adjust the target price to $5.33, based on the subsequent forecast. This strategy combines the upward trend, RSI signals, and Bollinger Band dynamics to maximize potential returns while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Zcash shows a strong uptrend, particularly evident in the recent surge to $132. The RSI consistently remains above 60, frequently entering overbought territory, indicating strong buying pressure. The forecast for the next week projects continued upward momentum, with prices reaching $150. Considering the RSI and Bollinger Bands, a long position strategy is optimal. I recommend entering a long position at $98.1. The stop loss should be placed at $90 to protect against a potential pullback. The initial target price should be $121, aligning with the first forecast price. To maximize potential returns, I suggest a tiered target approach. Once the price reaches $121, move the stop loss to $114, the established support level. The second target price is $129, followed by a final target of $143. This strategy combines the strength of the uptrend, RSI signals, and Bollinger Bands projections, while incorporating risk management through strategic stop-loss adjustments. This portfolio offers a high-return investment opportunity with clearly defined entry, exit, and risk mitigation points. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethena has shown a downtrend followed by a slight recovery. The support price is consistently at $0.559, while the resistance is at $0.71. The RSI indicates that the asset is currently in the neutral to slightly oversold territory, fluctuating between 35.7 and 48.6. Considering the forecast for the next week, the price is expected to hover around $0.578 to $0.6, suggesting continued sideways movement with a slight downward bias. Therefore, I recommend a cautious strategy focusing on short-term opportunities. My proposed strategy is a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands. We will initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 30 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, indicating a potential oversold condition. Specifically, we will enter a long position at $0.578. The stop loss will be placed just below the support level at $0.55 to mitigate potential losses. The target price will be set at the middle of the Bollinger Bands, $0.638, aiming to capitalize on a potential bounce. This strategy combines the oversold signal from RSI with the price proximity to the lower Bollinger Band, offering a high probability setup with clearly defined entry, stop loss, and target levels. This approach aims to capture short-term gains while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Lido DAO has shown considerable volatility with fluctuating RSI levels and Bollinger Bands. The price has tested the support level of $1.18 multiple times, and the forecast suggests a potential upward trend with prices hovering around $1.18 to $1.25. Considering the RSI, we observed periods of oversold conditions, below 20, and overbought conditions, above 80. Currently, the RSI is trending upwards, suggesting increasing bullish momentum. Therefore, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $1.18. The stop loss will be set at $1.15 to mitigate potential downside risk. The initial target price will be $1.25, based on the forecast and resistance levels. If the price breaks through $1.25, we will adjust the target price to $1.3, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band. This strategy combines trend analysis, RSI signals, and Bollinger Bands to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. The position size should be determined based on individual risk tolerance and capital allocation. Based on the historical data and forecast, Decentraland shows a volatile trend with recent upward momentum. The RSI has crossed above 50, indicating a strengthening bullish signal. The forecast for the next week predicts a continued upward trajectory, with prices potentially reaching $0.339. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.313, placing a stop-loss order at $0.310 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.334, aiming to capitalize on the predicted short-term upward movement. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower band, which is currently around $0.259, it suggests an oversold condition, providing an opportunity to enter a long position. Conversely, if the price approaches the upper band, around $0.37, it signals an overbought condition, potentially prompting a partial profit-taking or a short-term adjustment. The RSI readings, combined with Bollinger Bands, will allow for dynamic adjustments to the stop-loss and target prices, maximizing returns while managing risk. We will adjust the target price to $0.339 if the RSI continues to rise above 60. Based on the historical data and forecast, DeXe exhibits a clear upward trend. The price has consistently tested the support level of $9.29 and has shown strong resistance around $15.2. The RSI values fluctuate between 57.8 and 89.7, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility. Given this analysis, I recommend a long position strategy. Specifically, enter a long position at $11.4. Set a stop-loss order at $9.8, just below the recent support level. The initial target price should be $13.3, aligning with the forecast price and providing a reasonable profit margin. To refine the strategy, we can incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI drops below 20, indicating an oversold condition, consider entering a long position. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds 80, suggesting an overbought condition, consider taking profits or initiating a short position. The Bollinger Bands can provide additional confirmation. If the price touches the lower band, it suggests a potential buying opportunity. If the price touches the upper band, it suggests a potential selling opportunity. For this portfolio, I recommend a weighted average of the three strategies. The long position at $11.4 with a stop loss at $9.8 and a target price of $13.3 will be the primary strategy, accounting for 60% of the portfolio. The RSI-based strategy will account for 30%, and the Bollinger Band strategy will account for 10%. Based on the historical data and forecast, EIGEN Prev Eigenlayer shows a downtrend with volatility. The RSI consistently fluctuates around 50 to 65, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, suggesting increased volatility. Considering the recent price action and forecast, I propose a short-term contrarian strategy. We will enter a short position at $1.74+, anticipating a potential pullback. The stop loss will be set at $1.79+ to protect against a sudden upward surge. The initial target price will be $1.58+, aiming to capitalize on the downward momentum. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Bands. If the RSI reaches 80 or above, indicating an overbought condition, we will immediately close the short position and consider a long position. Conversely, if the RSI falls below 20, signaling an oversold condition, we will close the short position and prepare for a potential long entry. If the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, we will tighten the stop loss to $1.71+. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, we will move the entry price to $1.65+. This dynamic adjustment will help manage risk and maximize potential returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, PancakeSwap shows a mixed trend with periods of consolidation and upward movement. The RSI fluctuates between 44.6 and 72.0, indicating both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a period of low volatility followed by a potential breakout. The forecast for the next week predicts a gradual increase, with prices ranging from $2.8 to $3.07. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals to maximize potential returns. My recommended strategy is to initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 30 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Specifically, enter a long position at $2.33, placing a stop-loss order at $2.2 to limit potential losses. The initial target price is set at $2.85, aligning with the forecast price and the upper Bollinger Band. If the price reaches $2.85, consider moving the stop-loss to the break-even point to protect profits. If the price continues to rise, a secondary target price of $3.07 can be set, based on the forecast high. This combined strategy leverages both momentum and volatility indicators to identify high-probability trading opportunities. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ether.fi shows a generally upward trend with volatility. The RSI fluctuates between 49.2 and 66.9, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands suggest that the price has been oscillating within a range, but recently approached the upper band, implying potential resistance near $1.72. The forecast for the next week projects a continued upward trajectory, with prices reaching $1.72. Considering these factors, I recommend a combined strategy leveraging RSI and Bollinger Bands for high returns. My strategy involves a long position with an entry price of $1.61. The stop-loss should be placed just below the lower Bollinger Band at $1.36 to limit potential losses during a market downturn. The initial target price is set at $1.72, coinciding with the recent resistance level and the upper Bollinger Band. If the price reaches $1.72, a trailing stop-loss can be implemented, moving it closer to the current price to secure profits while allowing for further upside potential. This combined approach balances risk and reward, capitalizing on the anticipated upward trend while protecting against sudden reversals.